Hey y'all, what's going on? Oh my goodness, sorry. What's going on? I do apologize for being late, but this is my recap and review for The Real Housewives of Potomac. This is the season finale, thank God, but it is entitled An Iconic Ending, Season 8, Episode 18. Finally, we are at the end, y'all. Finally, we're at the end. However, I really enjoyed this episode because, especially that last 15 minutes or so, it gave us everything we should have been getting throughout the entire season. But anyway, before we get into all of that, y'all, please go ahead, hit that like button for me. It helps my channel grow and it helps attract subscribers such as yourself. And if you're not subscribed, but you're here, you go ahead and subscribe as well, because why not? Also, shout out to the replay gang. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments after the conclusion of this live. Hi, hello to my good cousin Ranting with Ricardo, and hello to my fellow Jim, House of the Princess. Oh, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you, because I had to keep pushing this back because I have a banging headache right now and it's just not trying to go away. But there's just been so much going on as it pertains to The Real Housewives of Potomac in particular that I could not just, let this moment pass me by. I had to jump in here and get my, commentary as well. So on this live, we'll just really focus on the episode, but I'm going to do another live after this one, and we're going to get into the DUIs of it all. We're going to get into a couple people that have announced their exit. Well, not even a couple, only one person announced their exit. Somebody else is apparently not going to be returning, and I'm not mad at that. But again, we're going to get into all of that in another live after this, because I don't want this live to be super duper long. I'd really rather just separate the two like that. So if you guys are interested in talking about all of the drama outside of the episode, please look out for another live coming up in a few. Oh, thank you so much. I'm wearing black because I have to officially say good night to an individual who I hope to never see on my screen again. Yeah, I'm hoping we never have to see her again, but we'll get into all of that. Do you have a headache from? That may have something to do with it. It may have something to do with it. The other part being the fact that I'm probably dehydrated also could have something to do with that, but that's why we keep water right next to us. Yeah, there was a lot of lies and a lot of, I don't even want to call it covering up, but there was a lot of antics going on that I didn't really care too much for. So without further ado, let's get into it, y'all. So this episode, of course, had opened up right where we left off in the previous episode with the fight of it all that we have seen. I know I have seen on the blogs a million times before this episode even debuted. We pick right up right there, and we hear Ashley say, "Are the cameras down yet?" We cannot just glaze over that, because I find it mighty coincidental that she said that and then all of this occurred directly following. It almost seemed like, I don't know, on cue, if you get what I'm putting down. A lot of people have said the same thing, so I had to just take a moment to focus on that. Also, we hear Deborah continuing to press Candiace about allegedly whatever she had been saying towards her, or whatever she felt the need to address and get off her chest in this moment. She was pressing Candiace about that, and Candiace kindly responded. Actually, she didn't even respond. She let everybody know, hey, can somebody get the help out of my face? Like, this, why is she even addressing me? Like, she doesn't even go here. It was just weird. And we hear Kiarna clearly say, this is not the place. This is not the place. Like, let's not do this. So everybody, although the cameras were down, we heard everybody say, things that corresponded to what was apparently, you know, transpiring. So actually, I'm going to just continue to go through it, and then I'll continue to give my honest thoughts after I recap this whole little part. We see that Robyn, or we find out later that Robyn was not even there. So at this particular time, and according to the footage that we did see from people's handy dandy phones, we see, and I wish I would have uploaded the freaking clips, but I didn't. Not the clips, I wish I would have uploaded the screenshots I took, but I didn't. Sorry about that, you guys. But we know Giselle is not there because she took off right after the fashion show because, you know, she has to get back to her dad. So Giselle was not there. A lot of people thought that Giselle was there. She wasn't there. And I want to say it's because there was another lady in yellow, not Mia, that had her hand in this whole thing. And I was really feeling some type of way about that individual because if I recall correctly, she grabbed a chunk of Kiarna's hair, kind of, and why were your hands in it as well? She would have to see about me as well if I was, you know, involved in this. Hi, Feisty. How are you doing today? I don't see why she's upset about being called Sesame Street. She was on IG having Elmo and Cookie Monster do her makeup. Yeah. Happy Monday. Yes, it is Monday. It is the beginning of another eventful week. So here's to having a good rest of the week, y'all. Check my DMs. Check my DMs. Hold on, you guys. The jokes really write themselves. Yeah. Yes. Old girl in the yellow literally reached up and grabbed her, and then we got on the floor, and all of it just continued from there. I don't know who that was, but again, she would have to see about me. So Charisse was holding Candiace. We see Charisse holding Candiace because, I mean, I don't know, if somebody is coming at me, I might grab whatever is closest to me as well and try to protect myself. I feel like that's just human nature. I don't really see why everybody needed to focus on that tidbit of it all. Anybody else I know would probably have done the same thing. Regardless, Wendy, Kiarna, and Karen, they're all in the bathroom trying to, or I should say, Karen and Wendy are in the bathroom. They're trying to console it and figure out what all happened. Kiarna ran off, obviously, to the bathroom because she's literally bleeding. Like there was blood. There was blood, y'all. And Ashley, we see her over here asking Cal what happened. And Cal's rendition of the story goes, when he picked Deborah, when he says, when he picked Deborah up, she said that Wendy's friend touched her and she didn't touch her. Like Wendy's friend touched her, but she didn't touch Wendy's friend. And we see also, again, Wendy in the bathroom. She's pissed about this whole thing. I don't really think that we should be looking at Cal as a credible source, knowing that he is Giselle's right-hand man. I think that he would fabricate things on her behalf. I think that he wouldn't necessarily keep it 100% real if it, depending on who it supports, being as though he is so closely linked to Giselle. And I feel like we saw a bit more of that later on in the episode that really had me wanting to tell him he could exit stage left as well too. But we'll get into all of that. Karen, peacemaker, of course, she's trying to keep the peace. She's like, okay, need to let your mom know where you're going. Where's the nearest hospital? Like, we need to get this back under control. Very on brand for Karen. Mia, Jacqueline, Aneka and Charisse were still trying to calm Candiace down because she's like, get her out of here. Goodbye. See you later. You don't belong here. All of the things she's saying and addressing to Deborah, who's still going off. And I didn't mention it last week, y'all, but can we just take a moment to focus on how she was dressed? I don't know how I didn't think about this last week, but Miss Ma'am was dressed very much like she was ready to get down. You have on, I don't know what it says, but you have on a tank top, hair's in a bun at this point, but she didn't look like she was dressed to the nines like everybody else was. She looked like she was very much ready for whatever was going to go down, like very minimal jewelry. These are things that we have to take in account because, like I said before about what Ashley said, you know, the camera's down. All of these things are just far too coincidental for someone like me to just say, oh yeah, she didn't want this to happen. Why did you even go over there in the first place? Like, there's so many questions. And if I was, I'm sure Wendy felt the same way. And that's probably why she was like, you know, mad, because you're not about to play in my face like this. You came over here wanting that smoke, and that all could have been avoided. But yet we have Ashley over here, and she's upset or whatever, and we have people outside telling her like, oh, it's not her fault, there's nothing she could have done. And she's all like, oh yeah, she knows. But at the same time, you know that there's tension between Deborah and Candiace, and then you continue to bring this person around. Clearly, Ashley has no limits. A lot of us have already known this, but being as though this is your event, and I feel like you could have avoided this happening, you chose not to do that, however, and that just tells me again that you are an agent of chaos. You are somebody who enjoys seeing this type of behavior. I feel like she was playing that like shocked, but I really knew this was all happening. That's very much what I was getting from Ashley in these moments. And I really appreciated when Karen said like, hey, yeah, there's friends that you just can't mix with other friends. So shame on you, Ashley, because we know what transpired last time we were all around this individual. So Kiana's about to get escorted to the hospital, as I said before. And Wendy lets us know in her confessional prior to everything going down that she heard Ashley and Deborah saying something. She didn't hear what they were saying, but she saw that they were talking, and it had a little extra oomph on the conversation. So all of these tidbits we're getting, y'all, to kind of paint the picture. Although the cameras were down, a lot of this corresponds with the little clips that we did see that people got on their phones and all of that. She came dressed to fight with Candiace, but didn't expect it. Yeah, she did. She really did. Like, she won't wear no dress. She didn't have no curls in her hair. Her face didn't look beat to me. So come on now. Let's be real. Kiana's account of it all went like, so they were standing there. Deborah throws a drink, as she also admitted when Ashley and her were walking out, because Ashley didn't go anywhere near the bathroom, y'all. Ashley walked her friend out or whatever, and Deborah said herself that she, where is it? I know I wrote it down. 1 second. Yeah, Deborah said that when she was arguing with Candiace, she still had some of her drink in her glass or whatever, so she threw it on her hair. Candiace at this point in time didn't even put a finger on her, didn't even really even address her. She said, hey, can someone get the help from around me? And Deborah took it upon herself then, yes, to throw the drink in her hair and Then she says that she kept calling her the help, and then out of nowhere, Kiana hit her in the face, and that's when they got on the floor. That's what Deborah says. But she even clearly admitted in this whole statement that she was the person to do an offense towards Candiace first. Like, come on now. And then Kiana's like, we're standing there. Deborah throws a drink, and then she goes in to like hit Candiace. So she puts her arm out, which we saw in those clips, y'all. Her put her arm out to be like, you know, like chill, like stop, like this is not what we're doing. And Deborah turns around, grabs a glass, and hits her in the forehead, which corroborates what I saw, at least in these clips. We saw things really get started once Deborah threw that glass, as Kiana just said. Then we see them actually knucking and bucking. I hope I'm making sense, because again, I feel like, just like Karen said, it seemed intentional. It seemed attention seeking. And unfortunately, Kiana is the one that got hurt in this. And it could have, again, been all avoided had this person not have been invited in the first place. Like, it's very simple, if you ask me, y'all. That's what I saw. She threw a glass at the girl's face. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to hear this, so I'll say it. You cannot throw drinks, food. You cannot toss things people's way. You don't have to always straight up lay a hand on their bodies or a fist on their cheeks or anything like that. You can still, it could still be considered assault if you're throwing a drink onto that person. I don't care if it was just her hair or whatever. That's not cool. And I don't know who Cookie, was it Cookie? Yeah, Cookie said to Ashley when they were outside, she should have stayed out of it. Okay, but if I see someone I consider, you know, a friend or whatever over here getting involved in it or whatever, if I'm just trying to play peacemaker, I don't feel like that was bad at all. I don't feel like that was her interjecting herself or anything like that. I think that was her trying to also keep the peace. The same thing that Karen be trying to do, or anybody else would try to do with sense, I should say. But Cookie Bowen and those people outside blowing smoke up Ashley's booty, telling her that, you know, she couldn't have done anything about this and all that, is complete bullshit, because like I continue to say, she shouldn't have invited her in the first place. When she knows that there's something between these ladies and she still allows everybody to be amongst each other like that, that's somebody that is willing to drop it low whenever she sees fit, and that's a dangerous person, and I can't be anywhere around her. Absolutely not. It has nothing to do with Candiace being at the forefront of your mind, Ashley. This is your job at the end of the day. We know what all occurs that was a major part of the previous season. So Candiace doesn't need to be at the forefront of your mind to know that that's probably not a good idea, being as though it was such a huge part of things in the past. It was just stupid to me. Football had invited that low budget, no rhythm, having 1985 solid gold dancer. Like, why do you keep bringing her around? Thank you. Football head was right there for the entire fight. It's her lying, saying she didn't know what happened for me. Yeah, because we clearly see her in this whole thing. She's like, when Candiace picks up the bottle, although it was Charisse that said that she was the one that took it from Candiace officially. we see Ashley being like, oh, and I feel like her body language in that little snippet was not even very, there was no, she seemed like she really didn't even care right then. Like she was all, ooh, ooh, like She did. Thank you, Kimmy. Whether she knew if it would get physical or not, she set up a conversation. Yeah. She wanted that to happen finally, push Candiace off the show. Yeah, much to Kimmy's point, can I 100% say that she thought it would get physical? Probably not. And I only say that because later on in the episode, Ashley says that, you know, Candiace isn't gully, she's not like that or whatever. So that tells me that she brought her in thinking that, not to scare Candiace, but just to, you know, cause a little bit of a stir. But I think this got completely out of hand, and maybe this has to do with the reason behind why Ashley kept appearing as though she looked like her time was almost up on the show, whether that be voluntary or involuntary. Maybe that's why she was looking like that. Like, oh, like what have I started this time? Okay. Yeah, it resulted in somebody having to get 12 stitches. That's what you did. It's happened that way. I mean, Ashley apologized to Deborah when she walked her out after a fight, almost as if to say, I'm sorry, airplane. Yeah. Yeah, she walked her out again. Didn't go over there at all to check and see if Kiana was good or anything like that. She went over there, walked her out, and that's honestly what I feel like the look in her face indicated. It was very much like, oh, wow, I was trying to get it started, but I didn't really know it was going to get started to this degree. Yeah, it was giving very much bit off more than you could chew. Like, ooh, like, and that's why people say that Ashley is like the most low down, messiest person on the cast, even beyond Giselle, because things like this. But I think that's really all we can say about that for right now. It's Candiace's mouth that did all of that. Football head, what about your mouth? Remember saying that Monique caused her miss to drinking, girl, bye. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't a good enough excuse then. So why are we allowing ourselves to say that now, that it's okay? Or like basically saying like Candiace had, well, she got too much mouth, it's the second time. Well, that wasn't the case before. Like, we were never supposed to think like, oh, Candiace has too much mouth. It was always supposed to be, no, you don't put your hands on somebody else. So if that's the case, then why are you now saying like basically, oh, well, she got what she got because, you know, it's the second time, so maybe she should act differently now, otherwise she's gonna get popped or whatever. I'm like, just for that, if I would have heard Ashley say that and I was Candiace, I'm like, just for that, I should just roll up to your house. But I'm not condoning violence at all. Please don't think that's what I'm saying. But really, it's almost like she takes Candiace, I guess, like as a joke almost. That's what I got from that comment. Like, oh, like she ain't gonna do nothing really. I can keep trying to poke at her and all this stuff, and she's not gonna do anything ultimately. So, you know, whoever cares, like whatever, no one cares. That's very conniving. I'm just playing all of this in my head right now, and that takes a different type of person to do. Not I'm people I cannot stand Pennywise Darby. Her pretending not to know what happened when she was right there the entire time. Thank God for a hot mic and a cell phone footage. Yep. The GEBs came prepared to blame Candiace, not realizing we were going to see the truth of how it played out. I don't know why they would think. I don't know why they would think that, other than maybe because in the past their messiness has been done mostly behind closed doors, like at someone's house or in their backyard or something like that. But there's always a camera phone probably 2 to 5 feet away from you at all times in 2024. So I don't know why they would think that, or maybe they, I don't know. Like, it's 2024. Come on now. But I think that's really all I can say about that first part, y'all. So then we have the Monarch event. Everybody's photos were like all right. I'm not gonna say anybody looked bad, but I definitely understood when Karen was like, yeah, I don't like this photo of you, which made me laugh, let me just say, because Robyn's was probably like the only one that I really was just kind of like, that felt flat for me. Y'all let me know what you guys think. But Mia makes her entrance to the event, right? And her mom's there. A lot of her family was there, actually. Her sister was there. Her kids. Gordon, of course, is there. Cool. This is, again, when Robyn lets us know, hey, she wasn't there, but I did catch her saying, like, oh, like Kiana got, she got put in a situation where she was fighting other people's battles or whatever. And I'm like, no, there shouldn't have never even been a battle in the first place if Ashley had not invited her in the first place. I feel like when Robyn said that, I don't know, I just still feel like that was a dig at Candiace. Although she didn't name her, I still feel like that was pointed at Candiace for some reason. I think Ashley knew they would argue, not physically fight. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, she definitely knew something was going to go down. We got all those little indicators, y'all. But I think the reason why she looks so like shocked or spooked, I guess you could say, I don't know, is because she didn't know, like Feisty said up here, it was giving very much like, yep, didn't think that would happen after all. Because even when she was grabbing that bottle, I feel like from her or whatever, like she wasn't even moving with no urgency, really. It was just kind of like, oh, like rehearsed. I thought it was supposed to be like that. I gotta look back at me. I thought that's the look they were purposely going for. Candiace looked good. I just wish they fully committed to the eyeshadow or to the eye makeup Diana Ross was known for. Yeah. I got to go back and look at, did they post them on their like Instagrams or anything like that? Because I want to go and actually like really look at them. The only person that looked like their person was Wendy. I understood though, like I understood where they were going for with Ashley. I understood what they were going for as it pertains to everybody else, but I did like Wendy's the best. I really thought they did the best job with her. They did a really good job. Kiana was fighting her own battle the moment she caught glass to the face. It was up and stuck from there. Yeah, I need to like pin that because exactly. I'm trying to be the peacemaker, but once me as the peacemaker gets hit, everything else goes out the window. And that's for most people, I would say. Most people would have met her with the same type of energy. At least most people I know. Mia was definitely not Pam Grier and Foxy Brown. Yeah, I thought that that's what they were going to go for. I feel like that would have been like the most iconic, but it really just Robyn's for me that really just didn't give anything at all. Like she said, she just looked like she wanted to be a singer. Yeah, you did, girl. You did. Robyn owes Mariah, no middle name, Carrie, an apology. I don't even think she should owe her an apology because it was just so missing the mark that we can't even consider it a try, really, I feel like. But okay, y'all, let me get back to this so I can get out of here. We could really talk about the craziness of it all. I really enjoyed Crystal being there because she spoke up on her sister's behalf, which I'm like, if nobody else is going to do it, thank God somebody stepped in and did it and did it. Crystal's like, you know, she wanted attention because she's speaking to Ashley at the moment in time. She's like, I think that Olga wanted attention. I hope I never see her again because I'm not just going to sit here and watch my sister get potentially attacked for a second time. I liked how she let her know, like, yeah, you might not think that my sister gets down like that, but just know that she has actual people that ride for her and have her back. So you might not, it was given very much, you might not want to piss us off. That's what I was taking from it. And I don't even think she did it in a threatening manner. She wasn't nasty. She wasn't any of that. But she let Ashley know, like, what she really needed to know, which was, first of all, you're calling that person your friend. You have real friends that get down like that, completely unprovoked? Weird. Very weird. Candiace, we get her confessional, and she lets us know that it all happened so fast to the point that I have Cookie Monster lunging at me. Then Kiana's reaching out, but somehow it never fails. This is going to somehow be my fault. And unfortunately, Candiace, you were 100% accurate in that. It was good to know that Wendy, Karen, and Candiace, I believe, were all present when Kiana was in the hospital, because, you know, they love to say that they're bad friends for not checking on her and stuff like that. I like how when Wendy subtly said, like, yeah, there's a dark cloud over us and all of this. And last time we even saw each other was 2 days ago up at the hospital until 4 a.m. I'm glad she threw that in there because I feel like they were grasping at straws throughout a lot of this episode, to the point that I wouldn't have been surprised if the reunion had came around. They would have been like, oh, well, you know, you didn't even go and check on her, and you don't care about her as a friend. Like, I feel like they would have tried to continue to, I guess you could say, turn Kiana against Candiace and Wendy. I feel like that's what they were trying to do in episodes prior with the whole her ulcer and all of that and I feel like this would have been another one of those if Wendy didn't say that, if Karen didn't go with her. Like, I feel like that's where they were going to try to take things. So I'm glad she said that. What else happened? They're all kind of like mingling. Like I said, we get everybody's confessional at this point, weighing in on the matter. Mia was like, she tried to go up to Deborah and say, like, girl, what are you doing? Think about your kids. And more importantly, why are y'all even fighting in the first place? I could say, honestly, throughout this entire thing, the people that surprisingly didn't piss me off, Mia didn't piss me off. Charisse, I thought she was going to piss me off for a second. She did for a second, but then I was like, okay, whatever. Didn't piss me off. And Aneka, surprisingly, she didn't piss me off in this whole thing. She actually stood with the right side of the group this time and lets us know, like, hey, if I don't even put the blame on Ashley. I put it all on Deborah. She shouldn't have. First of all, she shouldn't even walked up to Candiace in the first place and said anything. She should have just let them say what they were saying and let it just be that. She shouldn't have done any of that. I was just so glad to see her say that finally. Not glad enough to the point where I'm like, yeah, girl, come back or anything. But I just really appreciated her saying that in the moment, because why are we lying about things that can be easily proven? And I feel like in her confessional, Ashley was trying to place the blame on Candiace, or place the focus on Candiace again, when she brings up how she was grabbing the bottle and all that. I'm like, again, all of those things are beside the point. All of those things occurred after your friend threw the first thing out there, which was a drink, not even hands, a drink. But they still are going to get the same reaction from somebody like me, at least. I really can't make this up. Candiace lets them know she never spoke directly to Deborah. She may have been saying whatever she was saying over here, but she never even addressed Deborah. It was Deborah that came up to her first. So we finally get all the ladies around, and Karen opens up the floor and she's like, hey, this is not okay. Basically, Ashley, what do you have to say for yourself? This is what I gathered from that. And Ashley gives all these excuses and tries to justify things, and kind of, I feel like, just ultimately just blowing smoke up everybody's, like she always does. She's saying, in hindsight, she wouldn't have invited her. I'm like, in hindsight, it should have been foresight, if you ask me. It doesn't matter that I'm not going to say it doesn't matter that this is the second time that physical things happened and Candiace was involved. It does matter, because that's a pattern that I feel like other people, we can't just leave that with Candiace. Other people catch her up in stuff, and it's not her fault that other people decide to throw the first punch, the first glass, the first whatever. In this case, again, Deborah's the one, I feel like, that gets all of the blame completely. And obviously Ashley has a byproduct. She should have never went over there. End of story. And if I was her, also, if I knew that, because every single time we see Deborah, they give her that jump scare music and all of that. If I was her, I wouldn't have even wanted to be back on this show, because it's almost like production trolls her every time with that music. Not everybody in the group really even likes you like that. And ultimately, you were used as a pawn by this other person that's known to be the messiest person on the show. So why would you even want to be here in the first place? Like, but I forgot, this is also the same person that had an RHOP in their bio, and I've never seen an official cast photo of her. Have you guys? I haven't. I have not. Thanks for sending me this, Feisty. I just let me not play the music now. Yeah, they could have did Candiace a couple more ounces better. She looks beautiful, but I'm just saying they could have definitely made a couple tweaks and additions that really would have gave me Diana. Ross. Okay, we'll do that at the end, y'all, because I don't want to like bore you guys to death or anything right now. But we'll talk about those in the end. I'll bring them up. Giselle. She, again, y'all, she was nowhere in the building at this time. She was still on her way home. I don't know where this event took place. I don't. Obviously, we know that they all migrate around the DMV, and you never know when you're in DC. You never know when you're in Potomac. You never know when you're anywhere. So who knows how long this took Giselle to get home. But Giselle was still driving home when all this occurred, which again goes back to all of those little red flags we were seeing and all of those little indicators that we were seeing earlier on in the episode, where it's like she being Ashley couldn't wait for them cameras to go down to get things started. I feel like because Giselle didn't even make it home before Ashley's calling her, blowing her up, talking about some, oh my God, there was a fight, there's blood, or Kiana's bleeding, like da-da-da-da-da. And Giselle's like, huh, what? She tried to make it seem like her main thing was about them now having a stain on their brand. But I kind of think it was more so, she might not have said it, but I feel like it was more so her being upset that it had to do with Candiace or anything like that. I feel like ultimately, had it been somebody else, she wouldn't have been as mad, but since it's Candiace, I feel like it just makes things 1,000 times worse. She says that she likes Kay. Again, we know that Giselle knows Kiana through Cal. And I feel like in this scene at the Monarch event, Cal, again, parted his lips to say, I know I wrote it down. Where is it? Because I know I spelled his name wrong. It's with a K and I put a C. I don't really care though. Where is it? Sorry, y'all. Why are my notes out of order? Anyway, I can't find it. Whatever. Charisse, she tries to, because she was the one that was holding Candiace when everything went down or whatever. She tries to kind of check in with her and tell her, she's too talented to be picking up champagne bottles and all that. And I'm really glad that Candiace spoke up for herself again and let it be known that, no, that was done because I was protecting myself. And I don't feel like anybody needs to justify or further attempt to justify or explain themselves when somebody has committed an offense to them. I think you can't tell anybody, just like when somebody verbally attacks somebody. If somebody attacks you in any way, y'all, you cannot then tell me, the person being attacked, how to respond to it. This is one of those occurrences. Deborah got it started first. So whatever Candiace decided to do after that, whether that been the bottle, whether that been the table, whether that been the fist, like whatever it had been, at that point, it was all done in self-defense. I hope I'm making sense. Oh, I hope not. I really hope not. The wild Deborah never had an official cast photo. She photoshopped herself, which I feel like, y'all, I don't know if you've seen that last season and all that, but the way that she was carrying on after everything, like getting things started with these ladies and all that, always gave me obsessed and kind of deranged. So I really wasn't surprised when all of this happened, because she gave like I don't care. I'll take it to whatever lengths I have to be on this show and to stay relevant and all of that. That's kind of what she gave me, at least. I already said that Kiana had got 12 stitches. Robyn, I already said that she didn't look like Mimi. I was upset though when they were all speaking around the table and all of that. I was upset that Karen cut Giselle off like afterwards when she was trying to talk about how she's felt support from some of the ladies. She's been, knowing them for X amount of years and all of that. I was upset that Karen had cut her off because I wanted to hear exactly what all Giselle had to say about that. I mean, maybe she was done with her statement, but I was like, damn it, Karen, like I really wanted to hear what Giselle had to say. Like, seriously. So with the level of trust being destroyed in the group, it's like, okay, how do we go forward from here? And I feel like Ashley was saying all of the right things, but again, I know Ashley, we know Ashley as far as her being a cast member on the show. I don't feel like she really cares that much to change her behavior. I think she knows that it's her behaviors that continue to make her relevant on the show. So I don't feel like she would change. And I feel like she doesn't really even care too much about this incident because just the way that she speaks, it was just very, didn't really have a lot of regard. I feel like when she turned her back, she probably like giggled almost. Like she don't really truly care, y'all. She don't. If I were Candiace, I would have PTSD and pick up something too. She's a small girl. Yeah. I don't. Small girl, big girl, whatever type of girl you are, if somebody attacks you, I have no qualms with you then defending yourself. It's different if you started it, but in this case, she did not. Yes, Ashley, maybe that is what she's about to do. Maybe she is about to leave because she's going to go produce her own show since she's so apparently good at it and she likes to cause such a stir. She might as well go ahead and step behind the camera so we don't have to always think and talk about freaking Dobby, Schmeagol, Darby. She could just fade on to the background and be behind the scenes over there causing all types of mess. She could set her talents over there. Then she won't have to be in fear that her, children will have to go without or anything like that. Not that I really feel like she's even truly in fear, y'all. I really feel like Ashley she really doesn't plan on leaving that man, and that the only reason why they announced this divorce, the only reason why she moved over here in this house and all that is genuinely because he just doesn't want to be spoken about, or he doesn't want to be put on the stand for his weird behaviors. That's honestly what I feel. But in the end, they're all able to toast, I guess. And this is when Mia grabs the mic to address the crowd. And we also see the ladies, how we have their end of season wrap-ups and stuff like that. We also get those as well, which give me 2 seconds and I will let you know what they said. Why do I feel like I haven't been up here in forever or something? These. Oh, actually, before we say that, I should say that Ashley let us know that she kind of put old girl on the back burner for now. And I'm like, I don't know why that wasn't what you did a long time ago. Oh, oops, I forgot. It's because, as Princess said, she's a producer. So apparently she has pumped the brakes on Miss Wild Deborah. And it's because also these are parts of her that she never truly really saw, because they kind of just do the play dates with the kids and all that. But I'm like, you saw how she can be messy AF last season when you brought her amongst the group, and she lied on not one but two husbands. Yeah, she lied on two husbands. You should have been cool on her ass then, but you weren't. Back to what I was doing. Back to what I was doing, because she's not going to drive me crazy. So we see Candiace. She has been recording new music and plans to shop it to a major label. Good, good, good. And she also is still focusing on heating up her career before taking her embryos off ice. That's what we got for Candiace. Wendy, she has self-released her talk show, the Dr. Wendy Show, on her YouTube channel. Y'all should go check it out. As well as she's hoping that this new venture is the one that the one that finally sticks. I mean, it's okay if you want to be involved in multiple things. It's okay if you have a lot of interests. I'm somebody who has a lot of interests, a lot of very vastly different interests. So I don't feel like that's a negative thing, but I hope, yeah, this newest venture is the best one yet for Dr. Wendy. Robyn signed a lease for her first Glow 30 location and hopes to have doors open in 2024. We won't see that though, because just kidding, y'all. That's for the next video. I'm so annoying. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, y'all. And also for Robyn, or not Robyn, does she have anything else? Yeah. As for the world's opinion on her and Juan's marriage, the Dixons 100% don't care. Yeah, no, nothing else for Robyn. Moving on. We 100% don't care either. Like, to think that we care when we don't really care is comical, but whatever. Karen is renovating her Surrey house and hopes to have it open by 2025. And she also treated herself to a few upgrades, some triple 20 cosmetic tweaks. Still really upset that we did not get to see her triple 20 party. Giselle officially launched her GNA clothing line with Ashley. Hopefully this one lasts longer than every Hue Beauty or whatever it was she had. Sadly, Giselle's father, Curtis, passed away shortly after his surgery. Rest in peace to him. But we talked about that last week. Actually, I don't even need to say anything. Aneka's IUI procedure was unsuccessful. I knew that. I think I knew that because I think she said that she's going to start tracking her fertility journey and everything. I guess I don't know if she's going to start vlogging it or what, but she spoke about this. I want to say I saw the clip on her Instagram. I didn't see it on her Instagram, but I think somebody had reposted it. She and Ike will try IVF next, and they will up the romance for their next bathroom rendezvous. Don't really feel like we'll see her back, so I mean, whatever. Ashley is actively dating, but she and Michael are still not divorced because they're not getting divorced because of all the reasons I said before. Her deadline to sign on the dotted line by the end of the year has come and gone again. Yeah, there's no urgency. I'm not stupid. I'm tired of Ashley crying poor simply because she doesn't want to get a job or lower her lifestyle. Yeah, Ashley's problems are not real problems, if you ask me. There's some very obvious solutions to her problems, issues, whatever. like you just said, Princess, she can either, get another job, she could lower lifestyle, whatever. The reasons that she gives these ladies, the reasons why she tries to say on the show is not truly her 100% truth, if you ask me. I mean, I'm just speaking from my own opinions, y'all. This is all alleged. This is all just my own just thoughts, comments, and opinions. But I'm not going to get up here and refrain from telling you what I really feel. That's how I feel. So, y'all, this is kind of when we start to get into the most, is it bad to say that the last 15 minutes were the most enjoyable for me? Is that bad? Because I mean, I'm never rooting for anybody's marriage to fail, y'all. Definitely not. But I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy this last 15 minutes. It was, whoa. So as I said, Mia and Gordon, they're up there, they're talking to the folks. And when he takes the mic from her, we start getting all these lovely little clips of them on the show throughout the years. And these points that are better than the point that they're at. We get the highs and the lows and everything. It's just like, okay, we understand what's happening, because we saw, unfortunately, all this play out in the blogs last year. But that opens the door for us to speak about things that occurred 3 months later. So apparently 3 months later, you guys, we get headline after headline after headline of Gordon and Mia and their marriage, and she's a gold digger, and all these divorce, like all after 11 years, all these headlines. It was Mia trying to like push out some tears for me. I'm like, girl, the jig is up. Like, you don't need to sit here and try to act like you're heartbroken over this. You done scurried off into the sunset with your boy. And hey, that's fine. Do you. But stop sitting here trying to act like you really care and that you actually feel sad about, your marriage ending or whatever. Like, you don't care, girl. But so apparently there is a group chat that the guys have. It consists with, I guess all the husbands or whatever. And in said group chat, Gordon had reached out saying that he's trying to contact them, their wives, on behalf of some things that have been happening in his marriage with Mia. And after that initial text or whatever, there was a phone call, and we're hearing this all from Eddie. There's a phone call, and in the phone call, he speaks on how they've been going through stuff, how they're getting divorced, and she hasn't been putting the kids first. So that was all like, okay, whoa, wow, where's this coming from? Oh my gosh. And so then directly following, Eddie's like, yeah, then we start seeing the headlines. They're dropping. We're like, oh, so he wasn't just talking to be talking. This really is, there is some truth to this. And I feel like, I want to know why he texted them and got them. I probably wouldn't even answered. I probably would have read them. I probably wouldn't even answered, like, oh, I'm staying out of this. But then we see me and Gordon at home. Cringy AF, very awkward. Like, most of this episode had me feeling very odd, very off, very weird. And we see Mia and Gordon at home, and I bet Mia felt even worse about things at this point, because it's like, dang, now I got to share this tiny, I wish we still had the old house, because I got to look at you and share this tiny little house when I'm just trying to dip off and go, but ain't. Anyway, so we see them there. She lets us know in her confessional they've been separated since July, which I'm trying to like think about the timeline of all this. Karen's birthday is in April, right? So then the Mother's Day, June. So yeah, they were still, I guess, filming technically when I guess this party or the Monarch party would have been somewhere around that timeline. Yeah, I'm gonna say that they weren't together then, right, y'all? It was very juicy, princess. I was gobbling it all up on the couch. This last 15 minutes, y'all, is what we should have been getting this entire season, but we did not. Hey, Denise, how are you today? It has been a while. I'm so glad to see you here. But y'all, they've been officially separated since July. She says that he's hurt. He doesn't want them to get a divorce, and but at the same time, had he not gone to TMZ, maybe we wouldn't be maybe we would have been able to salvage things. Maybe we would have been able to get things back on track. But he went to TMZ. If y'all didn't see, I'm sure y'all did, because this happened ages ago at this point. We saw him go to TMZ and speak on their marriage, speak on her basically calling her a gold digger and all of that. So I could understand how there's probably no coming back from that. But if you ask me, Mia was over that. Mia was never really into that marriage, is what all this tells me. And she officially got off the pot when he went broke, I guess. That really seems to be the case. So she attributes the shift in the marriage to the exchange that she had with Ashley. When Ashley had said, did you marry Gordon for his money or whatever? And she was like, I might have or whatever. I guess he caught wind of that and it didn't really sit too well with him. And that's when the TMZ article and all that occurred. Okay. She wants to talk longevity in this moment. You could tell that he's just on one. You could tell that he's very much bothered, and I feel like she's trying to act like she cares, obviously, because could this potentially, she probably does want to end things on the best terms as possible, just so that nothing comes back to look negative on her part. But truly, I don't feel like Mia gives a damn. I really don't. She's sleeping in Juju's room. Gordon says, well, if you don't want to sleep in there, you should have known what was going to happen. These are consequences that come with, you choosing to say you don't want to be in a marriage. It was kind of manipulative, honestly, because it's like, okay, let's say it's not about her being with Ink. Let's say this is not about her having extramarital affairs that have made him look like a mockery or whatever. Let's say it was for some reasons that he deems justifiable. That still wouldn't negate you saying like, oh, well, these are just the consequences basically of your actions for basically wanting to leave me. This is the punishment that comes with that. That's still very much a nasty thing to say to me, or in my opinion. This show allowed her to see other things, so now she's smiling herself. And it's a good thing. Thank you for saying this, Denise, because it's kind of like a known thing at this point. I feel that a lot of the wives come on these shows, come on this show, come on New York, come on Miami, come on Beverly Hills, whatever. A lot of ladies come on this show. A lot of times they say to leave their husbands. So maybe all the stars just align very well for me at this point in her life. And I feel like instead of saying that a couple months ago, it must have been because of the exchange between y'all and you've seen him, a shift in him according to all these other things. No, I think it was all of that. But I feel like maybe the kicker for her was, yes, him not having no money, because clearly everything that we're seeing, at least in this scene, gives, I think they could both agree that love was never really the forefront of it. That was never what bounded them together. It was convenient for her. It was convenient for him, probably, right? So I think that she needs just to be real in that. And he also needs to, one, stop being, he was kind of pitiful in the scene, y'all. Don't you think a little bit? It was like, I wanted him to not be so pitiful, because I'm like, damn, I'm starting to almost feel bad for you. And I don't feel like I should feel bad, because I feel like both of y'all knew what was up when you guys got into marriage in the first place. So therefore, I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you. Everybody's equal right now. But there are some tidbits in there at the same time that make me feel like, oh no, that wasn't cool. That really wasn't cool. It was very controlling, very manipulative for him to think it's okay to take her phone and then tell her, oh yeah, have a rest or whatever. You can't say that it's cool for us to have, to have an open marriage and all of that. Sorry, y'all. I deleted some of my notes. I don't know how I did that. Hold on. Okay. So, because on one hand, he's saying how he knew that she's been having an affair for over 10 years. I was like, 10 years? Like, oh my God. I don't know why that surprised me, but it was just like, wow, like 10 years, like that's a long time. And they had one even before they were even married. That's what Gordon said. So, and Mia went to go live with Ink at one point in time. I'm like, was that where? I need to know when in the marriage that was, or is he talking about like that's happened since them announcing the separation, or like I was kind of confused by that moment, or by that statement. But at some point in time, she went to go live over there in his 5-bedroom house. And that's where Gordon kind of got off the bus, because it was like when he turned 70 years old, he let her know, to his prostate cancer situation and all of that, like he could no longer perform, I guess, how, she needed him to, right? So he gave her his blessing to go out there and be great as she saw fit, just under there was only 2 stipulations. Don't basically make me look bad, make a mockery of it. And then it was also number 2 being, don't, get the kids involved or whatever. And his whole thing is, you did both. You did not hold up your half of that agreement. And she's quick to say that that's not the case, because first of all, he got 5 bedrooms. He don't even be there all the time. He be working, and he be in like 17 different cities. No. He asked her to be discreet. And she put everything out on Front Street, and that was his issue with it, right? And furthermore, you're getting the kids involved to the point that now our daughter is asking me, Daddy, why is mommy trying to replace you with Dr. What? Why is what is wrong with me, y'all? Why is mommy trying to replace you with Mr. Ink? Why did I say so? Dr. Ink? Wait, huh? Okay. Oh my gosh. It sounded like, to me though, I'm like, Gordon, that's not 2 rules. That's 3 rules. Because then you tell production, oh yeah, basically everybody, wait, Chris, I want to know when during the marriage, because I'm like, she just randomly would take off, or is this like once things were kind of going awry? Like, I need to know. He said, don't embarrass me, just like Melanie told Marcel. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Princess said it, not me. Oh my gosh. But his whole thing is this guy's been trying to break up our marriage this whole time, pretty much, because I think they could both agree that he's been kind of in the shadows pretty much their entire marriage. This is her former boyfriend, lover, whatever you want to say, and former and current. So she spun the block on that one. And because of that, because he's tried to break up their marriage, because of all of these other reasons, Gordon was like, yeah, that doesn't work for me. You need to stop seeing him. And basically, it was so pitiful to me when he was like, well, just get rid of him. And, we could just, for the sake of the kids, we could just table all this. And yeah, I'm like, Gordon gives me like he's a man of a particular age. I guess holding on to her is better than being 100% alone, I guess. I guess that's how he sees it, because I think he's been married like at least 3 times. So I don't know what to tell him. And I hope Mia is making the best decision for her. I hope this is truly what she wants in life and is actually going to be fruitful for her, because this is messy. I don't really think that there's any coming back from this. But at the same time, who really knows? Because then he's over here basically willing to, I guess, table everything, so to speak, for the kids, which then we find out that Jeremiah might not even be his. I'm like, huh? Like, whoa, this is a lot. This is a hell of a lot. He might not be yours because y'all used to mess around and it kind of overlapped. But then I'm like, to Gordon, I'm like, wait, but you don't, I mean, that's not really an issue for you though, clearly, because you told her that it's all good. You still been raising him as your son and all that, and that you loved her, and oh well. So that's again why we can see that this whole situation, everybody was cool with it until they weren't cool with it. And that's why I'm not going to drag her for being out here doing whatever, because he gave her his blessing. And I'm also not going to look at him weird because she was cool with whatever on this side too, because she said, if I wanted to leave, I would have left 6 or 7 years ago. They both knew what they're doing. They're getting into this. They both stayed in it until it wasn't, giving anymore. I hate, though, at the same time, that one day Jeremiah is going to see this. One day the kids are going to see this. We always got to take the kids into account. And I don't feel like this was done with them in mind. I feel like this is all just a whole bunch of adult mess that unfortunately is going to trickle down and may even make, him feel embarrassed one day or hurt or unwanted or whatever. That's always where I draw the line personally. Yeah, it was so messy. She refers to him as her soulmate, her safe zone, and now she's denying all of it. There was not a paternity test. I'm like, wait, did the champ return to Jerry Springer? Like, wait, what is going on? Paternity test? Mia. And this is why a lot of us say, honestly, Mia, I don't agree with her ways all the time, whatever, but homegirl, she gonna put it out there, and she do be putting it out there, and it So I guess Mia's stepping into her selfish era, y'all. They ain't living together right now, although she did bring him to the reunion. Kind of weird. then, but at the same time, not really weird, because I feel like Mia could carry on for the next 2 years, and if she says, fine, I'm done, let's work it out, Gordon would let her come back and they would work it out. Honestly, that's what all this in the end had me thinking. It really did. But it's already been an hour. I really can run my mouth. Okay. But that's really it for the episode, y'all. This season, although I have to give this season on a scale of 1 to 10, on the scale of 1 to 10, what will you guys give this season? For me, I give it a 3 out of 10. That's because we did not get, it wasn't enjoyable to watch. The bulk of the season was very unenjoyable for me to watch. And I know for a lot of you as well, because I read the comments, I read the tweets, I see it. I really hope that this next shakeup is the best shakeup, because as it stands right now, I'm like, if I wasn't feeling the show before, I'm really, within this last 12 plus hours, I'm really not feeling it now. So I hope it was, I hope they're able to get things back on track. But I think this last 15 minutes showed me, though, that if there is one person that can get it back on track, or can at least give us a little bit of spice and sizzle, is Mia. It was Mia. Although I don't ever see me putting her on my Mount Rushmore of Housewives, I can honestly say she gonna give us if put in the position, will give us TV. She really will. And I can understand why she was put in that first chair, because, honey, talk about, like, they didn't really leave any stone unturned in those last 15 minutes, y'all. So 3 out of 10 for the season. But this last episode, I think I have to give it like a 9, which is crazy. I feel like I haven't given any episodes a 9 this season, to be honest. Yeah. 3 for the season, 9 for this finale. We're going to see what reunion part 1 gives. I do believe, yes, it's a 3-part reunion, which, why does everything need to be 3 parts this season? Damn sure doesn't need to have 3 parts, but I don't work at Bravo. All I can do is watch. So I will be back to talk about that, y'all. But wow, this season's finally like over for the most part. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. But I appreciate you guys for watching this video and talking to me and keeping things very, very lively in the chat. Again, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Let's get down in the comments below once this live concludes. And if you guys are interested in talking about the DUIs of it all, who is leaving the cast of it all, and talk about the reunion trailer and all of that, then be on the lookout. I will be back with that in about an hour, so be on the lookout for that next live, so we can discuss more of the mess of everything, and we can even talk about some more of these looks that Feisty was so gracious to send me. We could talk about all of that in my next live, y'all. So I hope to see you guys there. And if not, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye. Alexa. Goodbye, Alexa. Anyway.